You see, God is watching. From the pit, he sold to the Ishmaelites. But that is the work of God. Still, there is a work that God has to accomplish. You see where Joseph, the life is taking him? From the pit, he sold to the Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites sell him to Potiphar. You do hear that? The Egyptians. From the Ishmaelites to Potiphar's house. From Potiphar's house, his wife wants to make out with him, and he denies it. So when he denies it, he runs away. The wife remains with the garment. That is still the work of God. The enemy is playing around the work of God, but that work of God, God has to accomplish it. Do you get me? So Potiphar throws Joseph into the prison. Remember, he was the head of his house. God had favored him. Now he's thrown into the prison. The Bible says in chapter 41 in the book of Genesis that after 2 whole years in prison, listen to the work of God is thrown into prison. The work, that work which Philip says that I am sure he who began a good work in me will bring it to completion. He thrown into prison for 2 whole years. 2 years. The Bible says after 2 whole years, Pharaoh gets a dream about 7. And the only one who can interpret that dream is Joseph. So the work is about to be accomplished. But look at where it goes through. Hated in the family, thrown into the pit, sold to the Ishmaelites, to the Egyptians, to Potiphar's house. Is accused. The work is accused. Into prison. The work is thrown into prison for 2 years. Then, finally, the work is accomplished when Pharaoh has no interpreter apart from Joseph. And Joseph is called out of the prison. He is dressed very well. He is looked after. He appears before Pharaoh. He interprets the dream that there will be 7 years of plenty. But after that plenty, you have to store that food, because after plenty, there will be 7 years of famine. That means you have to store the food in the plentiful 7 years. And Pharaoh says, who has wisdom like you? I've made you a prime minister in this land. You will be second in command. Pharaoh puts his signet on Joseph, and he says that after me, there is no one they should bow down to you apart from you. Everyone should listen to you. I've made you a prime minister in this land. Yet he is a Hebrew boy, but he's made a prime minister. He's given authority in a foreign land, from prison to be a prime minister. That was God had brought that work to completion. Listen, I don't want to lose you. Okay, all right. Let's go slow. Rachel is barren. Let's begin slow. This Rachel is barren. God opens her womb and she gives birth to Joseph. So Joseph is born in a family and is a stepchild. And he's hated because Jacob loved Joseph more than any other child of his. And then his brother hated him. And then he begins to dream. He becomes a dreamer. The one who was begot from a barren womb becomes a dreamer. And then the brother hate him. They conspire against each other. They threw him into the pit. And they lied to his father Jacob that the wild animals ate him. They take his clothes to confirm that he's no more. While he's there, the Ishmaelites find him. They pick him up. They sell him to the Egyptians. The Egyptians sell him to the commander of the king of Egypt, to Pharaoh's commander, who was Potiphar. And he's made a slave boy in the house of Potiphar. And because of the favor of God, Potiphar puts him in charge of everything in his house, in his household. And then the devil appears again. Potiphar's wife wants to destroy the work of God, and Joseph does not let her. She remains with the garment. Let me talk about the garment. She remains with the garment, the cloth. the cloth, the garment. There are many people out there that the enemy, the enemy he always tortures you because he has your garment. You made an error in life, and you still guilty of what happened to you. So the enemy is holding your garment of guilty. But this season, that garment, he has to let it go. He has to lose you. He's holding your business. He's holding your finances. Because there's a mistake that you made, and now he's holding you responsible. So you are tight. You're caught up in the devil's the devil's trap, because somehow you became weak, but not anymore, child of God. Listen, he thrown into prison because the wife reports him to Potiphar that he wanted to rape her. So Joseph is thrown into prison, but that is still the work of God, which God has to accomplish. But he's thrown into the prison doors, falsely accused in a foreign land. Remember, he's a Hebrew boy. You think you've gone through a lot? Joseph suffered. He suffered in his family. He was denied. He suffered when he was thrown into the pit. Then he's also suffering in the home where he was working as a slave boy. He's suffering to the extent of being thrown into the prison, accused falsely. But that is still the work of God. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still in the work of God, of which work Paul is considering that work that is about to be accomplished is not, whatever is going through, is not worthy to be compared to the work that is about to be accomplished. So the work is thrown into prison for 2 whole years. For 2 whole years. Listen, it is still the work of God. God has not denied Joseph. He's still the image of God, of which image is the work that God is going to accomplish on the day of Jesus Christ. That day is not yet, but the work goes through issues in life. Whatever you're going through, child of God, considering that whatever happened to you in the past was preparing you for this season, you have been accomplished. Your life has been accomplished, child of God. It can't get better than this. After 2 years, let me read the last part of Joseph's life, how that work is accomplished. Genesis chapter 41. Today we've read a lot of scriptures. I feel the spirit of teaching is upon my life. I feel like I have to drive you into your season of completion. So that's why we are sharing a lot of scriptures. May God bless you. Genesis chapter 41. Oh God. Listen to me. I will read just one verse. After 2 whole years, Pharaoh dreamed that he was standing by the Nile, and behold, there came up the Nile from 7 cows, attractive cows, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other cows, ugly and thin, came up out of the Nile after them, and stood by the other cows on the bank of the Nile. And the ugly, thin cows ate up the 7 attractive cows. Now listen to me. I will jump that. Listen. Now, verse 25. Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, the dreams of Pharaoh are one. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are the 7 years, and the 7 good years of plenty. And the dreams are one. The 7 lean and ugly cows, that after them there are 7 years, and the 7 empty years blighted by the east wind will be 7 years of famine. That means it is, as I told you, then there will come 7 years of great plenty throughout the land of Egypt. But then there will arise also 7 years of famine. All the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine will consume the land, and the plenty will be unknown in the land for the reason of the famine that will follow, for it will be very severe. You see that? You look at that. Now, verse 37. The proposal pleased Pharaoh and all the servants, and Pharaoh said to his servants, can we find a man like this in whom the Spirit of God is? Okay. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has shown you in this, there is no one discerning and wise as you are. You shall be over my house, and all my people shall order themselves as you command. Only as regards the throne, I will be greater than you. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt.